All right, welcome back, everybody. Next up, we are going to show off the group called Joel and their game Joel's Mod, with Andrew Ricketts, Joe Royst, Finn Lyle, Paul Campbell, and Jacob Wolford. So we'll throw it over to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so as you said, we're Team Joel, named after the one great Joel. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys, or actually just the application, so we can hopefully get sound. That's not right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We were deeply inspired by LTU's own
There we
Joel
go.
Graves for this
Mhm.
project. So
So,
we have to give a lot of thanks to Joel Graves for all this.
got it. Yeah, so this is Joel Mode, so I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on into it.
So when making the game, we wanted to really make a physics-based game for it and really play into a wacky type of gameplay loop. So when we were thinking wacky, what's like the wackiest thing ever, and we were thinking about Gary's mod, and we were thinking about the gravity gun. So for our game, we decided to build upon that idea of a gravity gun. So we ended up building a whole story about you're in an office, and you get invaded, and you have a gravity gun now. So main gameplay loop is you pick up objects. Objects have durability. You can fling it at things, and as you hit it, the objects can get destroyed, and then you're essentially going to try and sneak around the place. When an enemy spots you, they will start running towards you. If Andrew doesn't miss there, yeah.
More juice how to do it. Yep. There we go.
And then they'll be taken out. So
we really tried to, for the enemies when they got hit and died, we wanted to really play into the whole, physics kind of goofy aspect of it. So Joe worked with the ragdolls, cranked them up so when they get hit, they kind of go flying off into a direction, which is pretty fun.
Yep, and they have designated patrols that they go through, and if you get spotted, they will attempt to chase after you. They have a cone of vision in front of them. If you get spotted, they will chase after you, and then it will be a game over. So we decided to make levels very open-ended, where there was a lot of different paths and a lot of ways to go about the level. He's really
coming after me.
He's really coming after Andrew here.
Snuck around him though. So then if you leave, I don't know why. Oh, well, that's okay. I can try again. Let's go ahead and reset. So that's what happens when you die. So I can speed run through here real quick.
So it's just a very basic tutorial at the start here.
We wanted to make the tutorial interactive, which is why we put that pane of glass there. That way you don't kind of blow through it. It's easier than reading just a screen of instructions. That way people can hopefully absorb the information better.
We really wanted to play on the sort of humorous aspect on this game. So there is a ton of extra little Easter eggs about IGS in general and LTU. It's just a whole fun mishmash of just
that's okay. I got him.
So
the game, it's divided up into three main areas: the kind of purple area here, the yellow area here, and then when I get to it, there's a green area. I don't trust this guy. Okay, he dodged. He's too good. Take him out. So a visual thing that we wanted to do was make sure it's very clear what objects you can and can't pick up. So how we did that, whenever you're within range, you can, as I'm sure you've noticed, the objects kind of turn this translucent red. You can click on them and pick them up. When holding, one of the things that was brought up was to make sure you can see through it. So we wanted to make sure that it became very translucent. I fell. That's okay. That way, you don't you're not holding a giant table and can't see anything, because then that's kind of unfair. That was a good example of the physics. So another cool thing that we wanted to make sure we added with any good stealth game is a vent system. Got to be able to crawl through the vents to avoid detection.
Yeah, so there's also in the warehouse, there's boxes too that you can jump on, and you can get around by hopping on the shelving. We wanted to add a lot of different paths you could go through. We wanted to make it really open-ended and very sandboxy, because we thought for a game like this it would be a lot of fun to just we made it a little bit less linear, but there's still a linear goal in it.
Just need to find something to get him out of there. Good thing there's a ton of boxes in this room. So then this is the green area. It's the third main area of the game. We wanted to kind of separate by color, so each area kind of felt unique and distinct. So people want to get lost going around.
We wanted to give it a feeling too, so we had a normal office, a warehouse, and then we decided to make like the enemies bigger, the office is bigger, and just make up the scale of the final level to make it seem more big
These are
and grand.
alien invaders coming in. You know, they're not friendly. I'm just here to disrupt their conference meeting. Well, I tried.
Oh.
That's okay. I hit the other chair on accident. But it's cool, you know. We wanted to make sure that, you know, you could have fun with it. The goofy physics engine. So we have a little bit of a slide when you stop, but after some critiques, we made sure to rein that in. So when you let go of the move button, you weren't still going and like sliding across the entirety of the map, because that wouldn't be as fun. So we come up here. Here's the Joel room.
You got the Joel room.
The boss. So now, if you remember, in the beginning, there was something that said to steal the boss's button, which I don't know about you guys, but this kind of looks like a button to me, doesn't it?
So you seal the button and you trigger an escape sequence. So now Andrew has to go through the level.
I left this guy alive, and now it's a problem.
Now it's
Ugh, got around him. So the idea in mind with this kind of end sequence was that we were played around with a few ideas of how to end the game, because we needed a good win condition, and just kind of getting to the end felt a little anticlimactic. So what we decided to do instead was have this kind of escape sequence. So you have about a minute to get back to the start. And the idea here is that any enemies you left alive are now a problem on the way back. If you just kind of blow past everything, not make it. If you kind of blow past everything, not take the enemy seriously, then when you're on a time constraint, they're going to be more of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is going to be kind of close. Portal spawned in. I got there with 1 second to spare. So then, obviously, when you become the little PogChamp, I don't know, is that not good on Twitch anymore? Is PogChamp thing now?
There we go.
But yeah, so that's Joel's mod. Oh, now everything's broken. That's okay.
Oh, Wolfie is on his way now, apparently.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, so I know we kind of spoke a lot about the gameplay mechanics and everything, but Paul, if you want to speak on the art kind of stylistics you went with real quick.
There's not much to say other than what you've already covered. We went for a bit more of a simplistic art style, taking some inspiration from games like Super Hot and other such. Not going super detailed because save that for the AAA release. And we instead stuck with lower poly models, not to just make it easier, and making it as well as as well as just sticking with simpler color palettes and stuff like that. I suppose Wolfie probably could add in more.
Yeah, I'm letting him in now. Do you guys want to move to questions while
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so the first question we have is from Joel Graves. What is the reasoning behind the name of your game / protagonist?
Well, there's this guy that we here all look up to very much because he is really he has a special place in all our heart, and we were like, well, we can't. Gary is already a mod, so we got to think of a name, and we're like, hey, we have our favorite LTU student here, Joel Graves, who we named it off of. So, and here's Wolfie.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, hello.
I,
One only.
I looking at it and I was like, where do I go? And now I see it.
Wolfie, any words of wisdom to share before we wrap up here?
Don't be late. I think that's
I actually had a question personally. Did you guys have were you guys inspired by the Half-Life gravity gun for that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. So our main inspirations, kind of for the art stylistics, was Super Hot, with the gravity gun being the main weapon from Half-Life, Gary's mod, all those fun things, and then for the actual kind of stealth combat, if necessary, like a little inspiration from Metal Gear Solid.
Cool. Any other questions from the audience right now? Oh, did you guys have an issue? This is from Cobertos. Did you guys have any issues reining in the physics to make it a nice gameplay experience?
So I was in charge of making ragdolls happen and stuff like that, and I learned very quickly how much of a headache certain things can be with it. One of my biggest issues was I was having issues with the colliding of objects with it and making it like a satisfying type of ragdoll. So there ended up being a lot of like I had to fine tune it a lot to make it, but also I was able to play around with it to a point where it could look like you still wanted the jankiness, but you also wanted it to be. So you have to find a really, really nice balance between a janky ragdoll that looks like it belongs in a really janky type of just super just crazy game, and also one that looks slightly realistic so that it doesn't look like you're just like flinging all over the place. So it was a somewhat of a hassle to try and find that balance with it, which I'm happy it isn't.
Another part of that, once we had that all figured out, I worked with Finn with the AI aspect of it, and throwing in an artificial intelligence with pathfinding and everything, having that interact with the physics caused some interesting experiences. A very early version of the game had the enemy face down on the ground and then basically swimming through everything like a shark, which is one of the funnier things that happened, but that was definitely a headache to rein in for the game.
Going forward, we would definitely say if we had to do this project again, we would spend a lot more time on physics and wouldn't have underestimated it as much as we did planning forward. So,
very cool, very cool. Anything else you guys want to show off before we head over to the next group?
I think we covered it. We got a win screen, lose screen, game loop full. I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your presentation. I thought that was a really cool game.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right. We will see you guys later.
Yep.
Goodbye.